I've been here since like September of '59. I was probably about 6. And I graduated from high school from Newfield in 1970. So within that time, you saw the college happening. You saw a lot more building, and I believe, if I'm remembering correctly, that at that point, during that time period, Middle Country Road actually expanded and widened a little bit. And you saw different kinds of stores come in. I mean, when I was little, if you wanted something to go food shopping, you went to Smithtown or you went to Ronkonkoma. There was nothing right here. So you saw the food stores come in and some of the other stores. You didn't know everybody anymore the way you used to. You know, my brother worked at a gas station and you knew everybody that was there and you got your gas there and your car broke and you brought your car there. So it was a little more of a small town feel than it was. But it never got super big. I mean, even when I graduated high school, I never felt that it was super big. Things like we had a huge garden in our backyard. So we were always jarring tomatoes and canning things and freezing things. So we were used to a lot of fresh vegetables and things, and that's changed. I mean, once Nichols Road came through, then you didn't have as much space, and so some of that changed, and so you would have to go to the stores to get some of your produce, where before that we used to actually grow it ourselves. Well, yeah, I can talk about the library, because I remember the library way back when. It was a tiny little house that kind of had it was a fireplace in the back, and they put a circulation desk in front of the fireplace. It was kind of put together with Luan and I think a few nails or staples or something. And that was the only library. And I would walk from South Coleman Road all the way to Middle Country Road and Evergreen, which is where that little house was, to do work. And on Saturdays, that's what we would do. My girlfriends and I would walk all the way there, bring money to go to Campus Heroes for lunch, and fight over the encyclopedias, because there were only 2 sets of encyclopedias there, and do our work. And a lot of times we'd start laughing, or we would fight over the encyclopedias and get thrown out because we were laughing or chewing gum. But it was, we did that, and it was just like an outing to go to the library. It was really cool. And then when they built Suffolk, I was in high school, or maybe junior high school, beginning of high school, and then I was able to walk across the road and really use their library, which was wonderful because it was so much bigger than that small little library that I was used to going to. So that was really, really good. And then when I was interviewed for a position here as a page when I was my first year of college, I remember saying to my mother, I don't want to go there, it's like really little. And she's like, just go, you never know who's there, you haven't been there in years. And they had a wonderful new director and things were changing. It was still that small little space, but I started working there, and then they hired the first children's librarian, and I got to see what that was really all about. And that's one of the reasons why I certainly wound up becoming a librarian and a children's librarian to boot, because I saw like all the wonderful things that you could do and how expansive it was. It wasn't just about books and reading. It was about really helping people develop to be their best selves, working with kids and parents, and really made a difference in my life. But when I was a kid, and I think I was in the 6th grade or 7th grade when the Beatles came over, and every single time a new record album from the Beatles came over, the one place that we could get to by walking was Smiles. And it was in a little shopping center in Centereach. And that was it. And if you wanted to get there before they sold the records out, we used to get up and walk and get there like 2 hours before the store opened to ensure that we could get a copy of the new album. And then we would come home and play it forever until we wore it out.